Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. That must mean that it is Wednesday morning, and here in the Kansas City area, we had thunderstorms last night. It's getting colder now. They're talking maybe tornadoes, or we might even get snow. You never know what's going to happen. Do you ever have days like that? One extreme to the other. And that is what life is like. And that is some of the different things that we talk about here at Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. How's your morning going, Sherry? Before we introduce ourselves, how's your morning going?
Great. Weather's great, actually. I mean, you're saying it's raining, but it rained last night. I don't think we're having tornadoes today, are we?
I've gotten all kinds of notices saying maybes.
Oh, I don't know. I'm in my own little world. I got my big event tonight. I'm more worried about getting ready for that. There'll be hopefully no tornadoes in the middle of my event. We'll see.
That would be nice.
In Kansas.
Maybe
it's Missouri that's having the problem.
Kansas, that's it. That state line does something.
The track. You want to argue about tea and coffee. Let's argue about Kansas. And have you seen KU? Where's that mean?
Oh, yes. The great things going there. Anyway, welcome to Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. I am Terry Ann Porter, life coach, TA. It is time to defeat those lies of negative self-talk by changing your perspective. Noticing the new possibilities, pathways are now opening onto which you can choose to proceed in truth. And as always, the effervescent, exciting, and newly published author, Sherry.
Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, I am Sherry Berger, and I am the owner of Here to There Consulting. We educate business owners with those tools to balance life, business, and finances to help you get growth, leadership, and more success. And yes, I just recently published a book, and I'm very, very excited. I have my book launch this evening. Starts at 5:00 here in Kansas City this evening. So yeah, it'll be pretty exciting. And that's what's going on in my world. And I think it's just roses and sunshine and roses and flowers. And I don't even want to talk about tornadoes. I don't even know what you're talking about, Terry Ann. Did we have a thunderstorm last night? Oh yeah, because that messed up my show. I always watch This Is Us. And the weatherman, Gary Lezak, felt like he needed to be the highlight of the show. But whatever. Gary Lezak sometimes needs to be a big deal here in Kansas City, I guess. But I felt like he kept repeating himself and repeating. And we never got a tornado. I don't know. But like you said, if you don't like it in Kansas, don't worry. It's going to change. So we just get to go on the roller coaster of life. Learning, because we're going to talk about it today, celebrating those great and small successes along the way. And remember why we came up with this topic, Terry Ann?
Why did we come up with this topic?
Do you remember why?
No, I do not.
Well, we are sitting with the Toastmaster of the Year, Terry Ann Porter. Woo! We are sitting here with what did I win? The Kansas City Business Women Advocate of the Year. Woo! And then I got Small Business Superstar, and then I wrote a book. You've written 2 books, but not through the pandemic, right? But you wrote one, it just hasn't got published yet, right?
Right.
So we are on episode 81. And Terry Ann and I were talking one day, and we're having coffee, and we're like, wow, it's been really fun doing Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. But have you seen all the success that God has given us in our businesses along the way and other people? I've seen success with other people because we've been in this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's like, oh my gosh, we're in a pandemic. But have you seen some of these businesses and people become more successful? Why did you win the Toastmaster of the Year, Terry Ann?
I guess they felt that I successfully contributed and assisted the district kind of above and beyond
But that's
during that
because we
time.
went in a pandemic, right? And you started pivoting and doing Zoom and going the other way. I won Kansas City Business Women Advocate of the Year because we're in a pandemic. You're like, what? Yes, because we started pivoting and doing other things, and people started
Mm-hmm.
noticing because you didn't make it a Debbie Downer. I hate to call it a Debbie Downer. That's not even nice to Debbie. Come on. So we didn't become that, oh my gosh, there's tornadoes everywhere. What do? We go, there's tornadoes everywhere. How can we serve? How can we
Mm-hmm.
help? So I think it's a lot of your attitude. Good morning, Pam. Good morning. You know how you get Pam to come to Kansas?
How do you get Pam to come to
You have
Kansas?
to win awards. You got to write books. You got to, and I don't even know. She's here for my book launch today, which is so great. But that's what you got to do sometimes to get people to come to town. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, but no, it's about those pivots and making a bad thing like the pandemic become a success, a celebration. Good morning, Marinella. I hope you're on your way. She's supposed to be on her way to this
Is
book.
she coming? All right. It'd be nice
We'll
to meet
see.
her.
Terry Ann and I will be looking for you. Terry Ann will be at the book launch as well. So we would love it if you
Good
do come
morning,
by to the
Linda
book launch. I know, not to make it
and
all about the book
Renee.
launch, but it is all about the book launch today. Let's just be real. So 5 to 8, we will put the address and everything. We will be having a book launch. Terry Ann will be there. I will be there. Hopefully, Marinella is on her way. Are you on your way, lady? You're supposed to be. Pam will be there, and hopefully the rest of our audience is coming as well. Good morning, Debbie. What we want to talk to people about today is what are some things, especially through this pandemic, right? What are we, 2 years in? The last 2 years, what celebrations have you had? What successes? One of my friends, you would love her, Terry Ann. You answer the phone and she says, okay, I'm not going to say what she says because I can't quite say it right, but I'll give you the highlights of what the gist of it is. Okay. The gist of it is look around for God's miracles. They're all around us. Look for those great things that are happening. They're all around us. So, what are some of those great things, and even if they're small or they're big, that have happened through this pandemic in the last 2 years, like we were talking about? Thank you, Debbie, for the congratulations. Thank you, Renee, and I hope to see you. I think Renee will be coming as well. But welcome to all these people. And what we want to really know, good morning, Linda, and what we really want to know is what were some successes in the last 2 years in your life or your business? What were some that I didn't bring up for you, Terry Ann?
Oh my gosh, this has been such an
Tornado.
amazing past 2 years. Uh, I think what I'm looking at is not so much as the big thing at the end, it's all those little things along the way. Uh, working on a new presentation, I've got another small book that I've put together. Each time I get a little bit more of it done, it's okay, it's not finished, but for me, celebrating, that part looks so good. I love it. It's those little things that I think bring some joy. Because if we only wait until we get to that end result, it sometimes can be a long, hard road and can get very discouraging. So I need those little successes along the way, those little celebrations of, yes, I got this done. No, I didn't get that done. I'm not going to worry about it. And to make sure I keep myself aware of that, everybody has a to-do list. I have a I got it done list. And sometimes, especially days, I think, man, I got nothing done today. I'll sit down and write down, oh, but I did this and I did this and I got a lot done today, and just change my perspective there and celebrate. Look what all I did. And sometimes they're so minor, they're not even noticeable. I cleaned up the kitchen this morning because I didn't do it last night. Let me tell you, I looked in the kitchen afterwards, set down my cup of tea and said, oh, that looks good. I will celebrate.
Yeah, Renee, that's
Celebrate
so
with little
important to
rewards.
celebrate rewards, little rewards along the way. And Pam is doing a magazine. She released a monthly with 2 issues this year and released the third issue this Friday. She has a magazine now for volleyball that she's been
Oh,
working on.
great job, Pam.
So she's excited about that. Marinella was saying that a lot of us got to save gas by ordering online. But I will challenge people, if you're trying to make Amazon richer, let's rethink some of that. I know my book is on Amazon. You can order it on Amazon. But really, let's remember those small to mid-sized businesses and try to order from them. Let me see, what else did people say out here? So see, we have some good things of celebrations of saving gas, saving time. I think we found ways to save time and money. I mean, like you said that you've been doing a lot of drive up Walmart, you can drive up and get groceries from Walmart. You can order online Instacart. And a lot of people have pivoted. And yeah, even if you order on Amazon, you are helping UPS and FedEx and those type people to keep them busy. But some of it, they've been overly busy. I think people have learned to appreciate people more through the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were saying, oh, I went in person to a networking event and somebody didn't even recognize me because I met them online. And
Yeah.
so that's amazing that, there's a difference. And Renee says she's going to buy a copy of my book tonight. Yes, there will be copies there.
Here's a great. So this is a hard thing for me to learn, and that's delegating. We were just talking with somebody else yesterday about that. Learning to delegate is a success in itself. For me, anyway. I've just gotten myself a virtual assistant. It is very hard, and I've got to where I have to say, "Okay, yes, I did it. I've given her that task, so now I can take on another one." Learning to things like that are also things to celebrate. Those are successes. The successes aren't always the big picture things. Sometimes it's those little things, and that's what I like to celebrate and make people mindful of. I think it makes a big difference and keeps you
What?
moving forward.
Celebrating? Yeah. And not saying, oh my goodness, there's all these tornadoes in Kansas City, but you could change the perspective of, we just had a storm that came through last night and we didn't really have any tornadoes here in Shawnee. Other people might have had tornadoes. I don't know. Did
Mm-hmm.
you turn on the news? Did we have anybody injured in Kansas or Missouri that you're
I
aware
didn't.
of?
I didn't see anything yet.
It
If there was,
needs
I
a
didn't see it.
trust to let someone else do
It
things.
does. It takes a lot of trust to let somebody else do something.
And that was funny that you said that because Pam is here right now. She's at my house and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, Sherry's just letting people. I have at least 20 people helping me put on my event tonight. And they'll be like, well, what do you want with da da da? And I go, I don't know. You're in charge of that. I'm assuming you're going to do a great job. And I trust you in doing that. And Pam was like, you're really good at that. And I'm like, not done beats perfect. And it's not even delegating is not always just about you. It's about empowering the other person to make you realize that you have confidence in them and that they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do it Pam way or Terry Ann way and not Sherry way, that's not the wrong way. And how much does Terry Ann or Pam or Sue or whoever's doing it get to learn about themselves in the process of doing it? So you're actually helping others. I know it sounds
Mm-hmm.
silly, by letting them do and be creative in their own way. Big goal is to take little steps, one step at a time, celebrating each step accomplishment. That's right.
I love it.
And like
Perfect.
Renee is a health coach. So I can understand that because if you lose 5 pounds or you lose 2 pounds, you need to celebrate and eat and do little successes. And what if you ate or didn't work out all day? What did you do right versus what did you do wrong? And how can you improve tomorrow? And Marinelle says, like a well oiled machine. And we learn a lot about delegating in Toastmasters, don't we, Terry Ann?
Yes, we do.
They actually put us in positions where we cannot do it all on our own. They give us leadership roles in Toastmasters that there is no way you can do it all. Have you noticed that's what they do?
But they also tell you you're not expected to do it all.
I know, but they
Find a
intentionally,
team.
because as a leader, you can't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
There is no leadership position you can do it all. You try and you can, but you're not going to do as good of a job as if you delegated. And then
Sherry
Pam
has
said,
surrounded herself with people to empower, empowering those to complete the tasks on their own. That's the hard part when you in learning to delegate and learning to lead a team. The leader, I've seen a lot of neat phrases, but the main thing is the leader's not the one who's going to boss everybody around. It's the one who says, okay, hey, we're a team. What can you do? Go do it. What can you do? Go do it. And empower them to all work together.
I mean, think of whenever you've helped somebody with a project. I know Terry Ann's worked with me before, but if you try to help somebody with a project and then they keep taking it back from you, how does that make you feel? I'm not sure you're going to do that, right? Give that back to me. Okay, no, I need you to do it. No, don't do it. No, I mean, how does that make people feel? Do you want to work for those people, Terry Ann?
I don't work well in that situation, no.
And you don't want to help those people. And so if you think about how you feel versus they say, Sherry, I know you're really good at this, go do it. I'm like, are you sure? Because no, I know you're really good at it. And I'm like, so you're showing confidence in me. And so then you're empowering me to be the best version of me. So if you get a team and that's what you do, but if you keep taking back or telling them, you don't like how you did and it should be done. And it's not that they don't, I mean, I'm doing this big book launch. It needs to be the way I want it. I liked what you told me. You can get lots of people's opinions. Ultimately, as the leader, you need to just delegate and say, this is how I want it done. You know, so you do tell people, but then you also empower them to do it. Unless you want to be a dictator, is what Marinella said. Well, dictator, you need your whip, don't you? And you need to. That's funny because you have a whole event on leadership styles. But then you can celebrate when other people, did you hear me? Other people become successful.
Sure.
Especially if you not enabled, but empowered them to do that. You were like, you know, I know I'm going to take it back to Toastmasters again, but we had a first-time Toastmaster. He ran the whole show, never did it. I was a visitor on Unlimited. I don't even belong to that club. I was a speaker, and everybody was empowering him to run the show, and he did a great job.
Give them the parameters to work when you delegate.
Yep. With some direction, yes.
Yep. You know, I just, I do a lot of my own creative stuff. It was very hard for me to release a new project that I'm doing to my virtual assistant because I started to do it myself. And I find, okay, this is it. I'm going to send it off. When I got back her end result, I was going, oh my gosh, she went a direction with this I would not have even considered. And it looks so awesome.
You mean you had a pro do it better?
Shh.
You mean you're not good at everything, Terry, yet?
No, I didn't say that. I won't go that far. No. I won't go that far.
You're not good at everything. You're not the jack of all trades and the master of none. That's what.
Well, that I am. I do. There's a lot I can do. I'm just not a master at anything. I just
did you see Marinella? Marinella got a catering request in July for Italian.
Oh, congratulations, Marinella!
She's a great caterer, but that's great that she's doing a wedding because it's great. The weddings are coming back.
Isn't that nice?
Tell them what you want. Yep, and see what comes up, and you might find that they come up with something even better than you thought. Especially if you know that they are an expert and are good in what they're doing. Would you say my VA actually did a good job as a VA and made it look awesome? Weird. Because Terry Ann's a VA, right, Terry Ann?
I guess you could say I was. I don't have that title, no, but
Terry Ann, what do you do well? You do well with other things, maybe not all those tasks that you can give to your virtual assistant.
um,
I'm not sure I would trust someone to make things for a party. I'm very picky with the food that I make. I understand that. So if you're catering and you're the cook, you need to get the right food. You need to cater. But do you need to clean the kitchen? Do you need to take the plopper and plop it in each of the fancy what you know what I mean? There's jobs in that. So you need to write down what you have to do and you do best and what you can delegate because it doesn't, maybe somebody else could do that.
Relinquish the task and open up someone else's creativity. That's exactly where a lot of that goes.
And she said, great job, Terry Ann, working on letting go and letting others. Because Terry Ann is phenomenal. Terry Ann can do a lot of things. But Terry Ann's not God. I know she doesn't believe me, but I know.
Oh, come on, Sherry. Oh, my gosh.
So what were we talking about before we went live? Terry Ann was trying to say, I don't like looking at myself, but I like what I look like, but I don't. And so when do we do that to ourselves? When do we say, oh, my goodness. Oh, and what did I say? With the rain and everything, I get big hair. And I got a presentation tonight. And now I'm going to have big hair. And so we were being very, what is it called? Critical. So what about celebrating and looking? What did I tell you to do in the mirror? In the mirror, we should say, wow, God, you did an awesome job. How amazing do I look? Because it's God's work, not yours when you're criticizing what you look like. Isn't that a fun, what are those called that you're supposed to do? Affirmation?
Fun affirmation.
Yeah,
Sherry made me say
God.
Before we went live.
Now, let's not get arrogant in doing this, but that would be a great thing for us women to work on. Definitely.
And you're right, Pam. That was huge for me to say those words.
What words?
That I like how I look.
No, she was saying that was huge for you too, and she's proud of you too.
Yes.
Well, I think some of it was delegating. I don't know. You need to verify which one you're proud of her for. I'm proud of her.
I've got to claim it for all.
Delegating. She looks good. I'm just proud of Terry Ann. Let's just give Terry Ann a round of applause because she's the one, the only.
Oh yeah, this for the gal who's launching a new book tonight. There's a whole nother celebration.
I understand use the straightener hairbrush. I could have used a straightener. You should use a straightener when this weather's like crazy like this. And then look at Marinella. She's finding out definitely someone else could do the dishes. I know, but you got to pay them, right? But yeah, Terry, you're going to be shocked. I'm glad you're sitting down, Terry Ann. But Marinella, she doesn't like doing dishes. I know very few people that like doing dishes, but there are some. I'm not kidding you.
There are some who do like it.
And I'm like, why would you like doing dishes? But you go be you. But there are people that want to make money and they will wash dishes or they like doing dishes. I don't understand it, but I like the end results of the clean kitchen. I think you said you woke up this morning. I can't go to bed with my kitchen a mess.
Make affirmation from God's perspective and not our own when we're being critical of ourselves. Absolutely.
Well, because you're actually, if you change it, you're being critical of God's creation. Now, I mean, if you're not trying to present yourself well and you didn't brush your hair and your teeth and maybe wash your face and, try to look like a person. I don't even know how we got here, but okay. But anyway, we can go back to those small celebrations. Celebrate if we're eating right. Celebrate that we're moving more than what we were. Celebrate that we are being consistent in our business. Celebrate that we, it's raining, but guess what? That means things can grow. There's so many ways to look at celebration, right? It's all about your perspective, Mrs.
Sure.
Perspective over there.
That's right. Mindset and perspective makes all the difference. We celebrated along the way as you completed various chapters. I've talked to different people, they're part of a team and they're working on some big major project. So celebrate. You've got the big major project, but celebrate. Okay, we got this part complete. Because it's not just, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. There's different pieces all along the way. So celebrate when you get those little sections done and the whole picture comes together. What's the celebration that you're looking forward to? Do you have something coming up that you're looking forward to celebrating along the way?
I heard KU's playing. Oh, I don't know.
We had the game on and I could hear my husband shouting, "Oh, what's going on?" He said, "Go, use it, KU goes." Oh, okay. That's what's going
But
on.
Kansas City right now is celebrating KU wins.
Kansas City
and I
is
think that's
celebrating,
great
yes.
that we're celebrating KU wins. I get this. But why are we not celebrating our own wins?
Well, it's too bad I don't have the audio to throw into that one.
Maybe we'll have to play that tonight. Celebrate good times. Come on. I'm putting it on the.
Yeah, you should have that as an just before Kim introduces you tonight. How's that?
There you go.
That would be awesome.
Pam, you're in charge of playlist. Have fun. This is me delegating on live on Facebook. I don't know if I'm just throwing things out there and they're not catching, but I don't think that's how we're supposed to delegate. Last minute, tell people what they're doing. I don't think that works. I think we have to have a plan, ask people, put the whole thing together, right?
You know what? Sometimes that impromptu can really make a difference.
Well, I did
can bring a little bit of spark to a party or something that wasn't expected there before. Oh yes, there's obviously a tax preparer there.
Yep.
I know some tax preparing friends, and I know that they just, when it's over, they disappear for a week.
That's what she said. They're going to get away.
Get away and celebrate.
And that's what we try to do. My husband always takes a week before Thanksgiving off because he's a UPS driver. So you don't see him through the whole holidays until I always say I don't have a husband until the second week of January. So he always takes that time off. And then he usually takes some time off in January. So if you know when your busy seasons are and you celebrate completing that big cycle, because a lot of us in businesses will have, like, do we know every year the UPS drivers are going to be busy all through the holiday? Well, yeah. Do we know every year the tax guy is going to be busy at the end of till the middle of April? Yes. So to know that and plan is so important. I like Pam. She said every year morning I celebrate just getting out of bed. And you've talked about that before with people that have physical disabilities. Just getting out of bed can be a huge accomplishment.
It's a silly thing that reminds me of, for my 60th birthday, my loving daughter gave me a present. It was a coffee mug, and it says, "Congratulations, you made it out of bed." And there are some days that, yes, that goes on my I got it done list, because it was so hard to do that hey, I got it done. That's all that matters. I got out of bed.
Yeah, well, Renee's saying that people need to know that. And so far, there's been no extension taxes. But you know what? Sometimes we all get in our own little world. And she's married to the accountant. So I guess people need to know how hard the UPS drivers work through the holiday season. And maybe they need to slow down on all those returns. Everybody returns merchandises right after the holiday, which makes my husband work longer. When you're in taxes, some people do extensions, makes you have to work longer. So yeah, you do have to plan around that. But I don't think, Renee, that you can get people to not do extensions or to think about that. And I don't think that I can get people to stop returning everything after Christmas to keep those UPS drivers busy, or ordering late things after Christmas, or doing all those Christmas, whatever. I don't even know. You can't control what other people do, but you can control the way you try to respond to it. And maybe you have to be flexible and pivot a little bit along the way. So those are my final thoughts, because I can understand your frustration being on the other spectrum. It's always, people don't think of other people. They just don't. And sometimes they get in their own little world, and they don't mean to be selfish, but overall we are selfish. You know what I mean? We don't think of how it affects the tax guy, or we don't think how it affects the UPS or the waiter, or we just don't think about it. So people just
Well, I'll give you a different perspective on that. When you have deadlines and time frames, sometimes that's going to happen.
That's exactly. And with taxes, sometimes something happened to that person, so they need to extend it. Sometimes with Christmas, somebody got a really crappy gift. Come on. They might need to return it by mail, or they might need to order stuff after. You don't know what's going on in their life too, like you said. But yes, deadlines.
Hey, Sherry,
what?
Go ahead. Finish up.
Deadlines don't always happen when we think they're going to happen. So we just need to be a little bit, what is it called? Willing to pivot along the way. But what were you going to say, Terry?
I was going to say, hey, we're at the top of the hour. I just love the celebrations. Thank everybody for their participation. I now have a question for you. What do you want to talk about next week?
No. I always ask you, what are we talking about? But we aren't going next week. Do you know that next week is actually April next month? Yes, the 1st is Friday. Where did March go? People are talking about finishing up your taxes, extending. Don't stress me out with that. Oh, but let's talk about something more fun. April showers bring May flowers. So what I want everybody to start thinking is, what are some of those? What, have you ever read that book, Eat the Frog? What are some of those things that we can do in April to make great results in May?
I love that topic.
So that's what we will be talking about. And we will be talking about that in April next month. So please come join us next Wednesday. It will be April. I don't even know where March went. But yes. And anybody's in Kansas City area, we want to make sure we invite you to the celebration. Oh, I
celebrate.
I promise I won't sing. But my celebration for my book launch is this evening here in Kansas City. And we will be sharing that in the link. And guess what? Not only Sherry Berger will be there, but Terry Ann Porter will be there. So we will look forward to seeing you there. Bye, guys.